Welcome to another broadcast of Mindsets, Habits, the Unstoppable You. On today's talking point, we will be looking at financial health. Today with me in the studio is Mr. Clement Frank, and what we will attempt to do is to do a high-level overview of some of the realities that most people are stuck up against people. One, we are seeing that highly educated persons across the world continue to work paycheck to paycheck. They have dreams and hopes and aspirations. But in spite of how hard they work, they commit time, talent, and resources to break the paycheck to paycheck cycle. They seem to be stuck. So today we will have that examination of the problem. And of course, stick with us to the end. We will be tabling a number of solutions that you can adopt to break this paycheck to paycheck cycle. Clement Frank, he is no stranger, but for those who are joining me for the first time, he has a master's degree in economics. He lectured economics. He is also a thought leader, having on the study one of the greatest thought leaders in the world, John Maxwell. So without any further delay, do permit me to welcome Mr. Frank to the platform. Welcome, my good friend.
Thank you very much.
Good.
It's good to be here again.
Certainly. I want us to start immediately by looking at one of the realities that we're seeing across the world. And one of the things that we are seeing is that highly educated people with diploma, degree, master's degree, they continue to work paycheck to paycheck. And when we were taught that going to school, getting a good education, and getting a good job would have been able to enable most of us to achieve a better quality of life. What are your thoughts on this?
You know, the thing about it, kind of ironic that we are looking at mindset.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to look at is the financial mindset. Because the thing about it, it all starts in the mind. If you want to move from the position where you are to something better,
Yeah,
or it has to start occurring in the mind.
the mindset.
Because the thing about it, the mind of man, whatever he thinks, he
can
achieve.
manifest. Okay.
All right? And so let us look at what is considered positive financial mindset. You and I know that a person cannot achieve financial freedom and save by being themselves first. Invest for the long term and accumulate wealth until they believe they can be financially free and successful. I read a book from Carol Dweck. She's a PhD at Stanford University and a professor of psychology. Now, Carol is considered by many the leading expert on mindset and human behaviors. And so she wrote a book called Mindset, the New Psychology of Success. Remember that, the new psychology of success. It says that people have two core mindsets, a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. growth mindset is a belief that our skills and qualities can be cultivated through effort and perseverance. The abilities that we have are due to our action. So many people do not obtain financial freedom because they do not have one thing. That one thing is what we consider the right mindset. And everything starts with how you think about money, how you think about wealth, how you think about success. And one of the things we have to do is embrace positive mindset. Now, when you begin to embrace that growth mindset, one, you start to think differently about how you talk to yourself and think about financial success. If you do that, it will lead you, it will lead whoever listening right now to focus on saving by paying yourself first, investing for the long term and accumulate wealth, rather than focus on expenses, paying bills and paying off debt. And trust me, I've been there. While you're focusing on the expense at the end of the month, the bills you have to pay, the debt that you have to pay. And consider this, if you focus solely on paying bills or paying off debt, you are limiting your ability to save. You're limiting your ability to invest and accumulating wealth. And not just accumulating it, but doing it effectively. And then you're not focusing on growth. Now, one of the common financial myths that are held by many people is that to achieve financial success through saving, investing, and accumulating wealth, a person must sacrifice their happiness. They must sacrifice their families and often their health for a large paycheck. Now, we have to realize that no matter how successful and happy a person masks themselves to look outward, it means nothing if he or she wasn't happy with themselves on the inside. Portraying an outward image of success, no matter how one felt on the inside, does not equate to wealth. Instead, it represents a path to misery. It represents a path to unhappiness. And the thing about the we found out is that most people are never able to achieve financial freedom because, for one, either they don't know it exists or they believe it's possible for them. Normally, they never thought anything about it.
You know,
So it all begins with your mind.
you're perfectly correct. And Welcome to want to achieve these things in life, especially when you would have gone to school and studied and you get your academics and you are now gainfully employed. You believe that you're the benefits from your being gainfully employed should be able to provide you with all of this. But when we look at the upper, middle, lower class, we're seeing a massive disparity where this is concerned. So coming back to the analysis, you're seeing that your income, the net income, is not able to give you your future plans. Almost none of your future plans. I'm interfacing with persons who are 45 and 50 and 55 and 60, and they're still saying to you, I didn't get my home, I didn't get my car, I didn't even get to early retirement. I spent most of my life working because my income did not provide me with a quality of lifestyle that I wanted. And this is a reality across the board. And if people are honest, it's a reality that you need to take face on, head on. Because if you try to avoid it and duck it and sweep it under the rug, you're going to be faced with it for the rest of your life. And apparently, when you decide to wake up to the reality, it's going to be too late. When you turn 60, 65, your energy level is not there. Possibilities are changing. It's more difficult to go after your success and all of these different things. So it's important to deal with it now. We are seeing that persons are stuck. And one of the things that we recommend, and that brings you to the fifth element, where we start to look at smart investment strategies, smart ways of generating additional income. So if your primary source of income is not able to leave you with a positive net income cash flow, it's important that you start to identify new innovative ways to make it happen. All right. And of course, in this program, there's a number of things we're doing to really awaken persons to things that they can do. You can perhaps spend a half an hour a day doing network marketing, doing social media marketing, understanding what is being an affiliate brand manager. All right. And of course, with us, we are not just teaching you these things. We are aligning you to portfolios that allows you to be affiliate manager, where you earn on your own, you're your own boss, you earn in your own strength. And perhaps all the monies that you're earning from these particular areas, you put it into a savings account, my good friend, like you were talking about, my Frank. You put it into a savings account that has marked on it smart investment strategy, because it is saving to accumulate to go into investment. Because you and I know that the amount of returns you get from savings is insignificant. You're not going to get wealthy from savings, but you're going to save largely because you want to take those savings and put it into a smart investment portfolio. Again, we are seeing that most persons, they are not fully aware of what are the best, safest investment portfolios. Again, I want to say that myself and Frank, we are involved with these kinds of discussion, building out these portfolios. The company that we represent specialize in looking at things like, ETFs, looking at Vanguard index and index funds. And let me just talk briefly about this. The average person might be thinking about investing in a single share. While there's no, harm in it, it's important for you to understand that when you invest in a single share, the advantages and disadvantages that exist. When we talk about smart investment, we always talk about safeguarding your financial interests. Because of this, we talk about index. Now, what is an index? An index is similar to an S&P 500. It gives you a spread. So if you allocate $500 into an index fund, it is not going to a single financial instrument. It is going to 500 companies in the S&P 500. So you have that spread. So if 10 companies come down, you still have 490 companies that are still going to do well. And it's hardly likely that all of those companies are going to collapse at one time. So those are just some examples that we've given you. So I want to say to you in conclusion, it's important. I can't emphasize this enough. It's important that you get a PFA. Reach out to Mr. Frank. Reach out to me. Get a professional financial advisor, a personal financial advisor that can mentor and coach you and guide you through this entire process as it relates to wealth creation. If investing in stocks and shares is too risky for you, let's talk to you about performing assets. Performing assets that can pay you several times. The right asset class can pay you daily, weekly, monthly, can pay you in asset appreciation, and it can pay you in equity leverage. All of these things we have been teaching persons across the world, and it is time that you avail yourself to this kind of information in order to get yourself off the paycheck to paycheck cycle. The reality is that many of you, if you reach out to us now, you may be most likely be able to get into some of the free coaching and mentorship sessions that we have to help elevate you from where you're at. It is unfair that you went to school, you learned the golden rule, you get a super education, but still you're struggling. You're not able to think about your children's college education because you don't have the money to do it. You're not able to achieve your dream home because you don't have enough savings. You know, my good friend, in closing, I just want to say this. It hurts me, you know. I am talking to a young lady a few years ago, and this was her experience. At the age of about 25, she was struggling to raise capital to go purchase her home. She didn't have enough equity because you have to normally get about 10% equity based on the value of that house to allocate along with legal fee. She fights. Now at 47, she accumulates some monies to go buy that home. The opportunity presents itself. She has the 10%. Guess what happened to her now? The table flipped. Because now the life cycle, at age 25, they may be willing to give you, 15 and 20 years life cycle. But at age 45, 47, the life cycle gap reduces. And if the life cycle reduces of the debt portfolio, it increases the monthly installment. And that again made it difficult for us. This is another scenario. We had to now sit with her, work with her, show her the different possibilities to navigate that whole process. So we are fully aware of what is talk up against persons. We believe that you are entitled to live your best life and to live it now, not tomorrow, to live it now. There are smart things and smart ways that you can do, things that you can do to accelerate your personal wealth development. And of course, that's the reason why myself and Frank is here to talk to you about your financial health. My good friend, over to you. You're muted. Yeah.
Thanks. And what you say is so correct because so many of us,
Yeah.
myself included, um, wait until now before we can afford to do so many things. And that's one of the reasons why I do what I do so that my offspring, my children, don't
Yeah.
have the same kind of problem. And so you educate the young people from now, let them understand that, hey, um, it ain't gonna be easy, it's not getting easy. You know the interest rates and advances are gonna go up, inflation we're gonna have to be facing because
Exactly.
the time we're living in. And
Mm-hmm.
so you now have to be smart in how you're handling your finances. And when you get a job at the office, I encourage a lot of young people stay home in your parents' house. Put resources. I know you want to go out there and have your freedom and everything. Stay
That's
home
the
a little bit,
smartest advice. Yeah.
save that money because your parents are gonna fight you down for food, money for food.
Good.
I'm not saying you should not, give a little help wherever you can.
Yeah.
Stay there and get yourself grounded financially, and then you can move on. You can move on so that you can help yourself and help the parents who have helped you. And so I speak to my students like that, especially
Yeah.
those who are young. Let them understand that hey, this youthful life here, it ain't gonna last.
You're right, my friend. Many young people are going down the rabbit hole of poverty the moment you decide to to get away from mommy and daddy. You think mommy and daddy, they're too controlling, and you want to go on your own. And in most cases, when you go on your own, you've gone right into the rabbit hole of poverty. So the statement that you've made is very, very, accurate. um, Children, stay at home as long as possible. Have a game plan. You're not just staying at home, with mommy and daddy because you want to. You're staying at home with a game plan. And again, Frank and our team, we can help you to develop that game plan that can take, you and your family out of that paycheck to paycheck cycle, out of that rat race where you are now laying a strategic platform to build wealth and escape poverty. Frank, I know he's very passionate about this. The beauty about all of this is that we are not just talking as subject matter expert. Myself and Frank, we both came through that entire process. We came through that entire process. So we have practical experiences and we have learned from so many other persons' experiences that we're interfacing with, and we want to share them with you. Sorry to cut you, my friend, but I just want to give you that support with what you're saying. You're mute again.
Yes, and the thing about it again is that we got to realize that you cannot build financial success on your own. You need crutches.
I love that. I love that.
It's not you alone. You have to get a team, whether it be friends, whatever, because when you come together, you go farther. It was
Faster. You go farther, faster, and you achieve more.
exactly. And so the thing about it is that because everybody is gonna bring their resources together, and with the accumulation of resources, it will help the team. Not everybody's gonna bring finance, but some will bring some experience. Some can bring, well, of course, finance. Some will bring other materials. But in putting all these resources together, then you realize, you know what? This is where we can gain.
You know,
This is
you're right again. You're right again. And I just want to emphasize where you're right. And I often talk with my kids about this. They're young, but They're already educated on this platform and they're teaching persons now on this platform. And I would say to my two sons and daughter that imagine that you're working for $200,000 a month. All right. Imagine that you can save $100,000 a month individually, but you want to accumulate $1 million as 10% on a $10 million performing asset. It's going to take you at least a year, 10 months to a year to accumulate that. So we are not talking about the speed of wealth acquisition. You said just now, Frank, that it's not about me, myself, and I. It's about uncle, auntie, cousin, brother, sister, mommy, and daddy, and friends. The right friends. This is why in life, you need the right people around you, the right thinking people around you. All right. If they come around you wrong, perhaps it's your responsibility now to teach them. But the point that I want to make, if you're able to save, let us say $100,000 a month, but you have 10 right thinking persons around you who can do the same kind of savings on a monthly basis. In 1 month, my good friend, you accumulate your $1 million as 10% equity in a $10 million performing asset that can pay you for the rest of your life. All right. You hear people saying, I can't work with team, I don't work with friends, it ain't working. If it ain't working, that again is another recipe for you to stay in poverty. You go on, I know you want to say something.
A lot of people who can work with team and so on, unknowingly they do.
Yeah.
Because if you look at a lot of persons, for example, at my place of work, there are people who say, man, me work with team and them kind of stuff. Yes, the same people that throw box and everyone on the same team. Because you know what?
Yeah.
They can accumulate the savings faster.
Yep.
The team coming together without having to pay interest and get things. Me, for example, my daughter who is now pursuing medicine, when she was doing her associate degree, I said, you're not going to borrow cash. This box hand money took her for 2 years associate degree in biology.
Wow.
So you see the thing about it, if I was depending on just me and my salary and whatever, it wouldn't happen. But it's the coming together of the team. You know that, okay, at the end of this 6 months, she got to pay fees. You say, okay, that's the time I want my hand. And you get your hand and you say, look, this is your school fee. So there's the stress of having to find that is alleviated. And that's what I'm saying, is that a team will work. Go into the team, bring whatever resources you have, go to your team and work your team.
Yeah.
It's gonna,
you know, correct. And for those persons who are having difficulty working with team, I want to say again, reach out to us at Global Capital Inc. Reach out to us at 10X Branding and Marketing LLC out of New York. We have specialized training programs that can work with you and your team, or what we're going to be doing eventually is pairing you with the right team members that has the right mindset. And that mindset is about wealth creation. Mindset, habits, unstoppable you. Because this platform is all about helping you to develop the right mindset in relation to leadership and wealth, helping you to develop the right habits around relationships, leadership, and wealth, and helping to make you unstoppable when it comes to setting clear goals. Now, talking about clear goals, we have also developed a very unique platform and very unique ecosystem where we talk about financial planners ecosystem. It's an ecosystem because it gives you a step-by-step approach that the most successful people in the world are using to accomplish a high level of success in business and in their personal life. I will just walk you through a few of them. The reality is this, and me and my sons and daughter, we often talk about this. The average person going to set a goal, they are setting a goal with the expectations. You ever read that book, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens?
Yeah.
They set the goal. Good. They set the goal, and what is dominant in their prefrontal cortex, that in their mind, is what they want to accomplish. While focusing on what you want to accomplish is important, it's important to recognize that financial goal setting or any goal setting needs an equilibrium, meaning that it must have a balance where intention must meet expectations. You must come to the table with an intention, and the intention is to add value and to fix problems. And what that means, it begins with you. You have to ensure that you have something of value to give to someone. You have to ensure that your skill set is so built up to fix problems, like a lawyer, a doctor, even a janitor. A janitor can fix problems and they can add value. And it is by the ability of doing this consistently and to the highest standard, by delivering service, delivering value, you're able to achieve your expectation by increasing your disposable income. And by increasing your disposable income, you can now funnel that income into your dreams, into your hopes, and into your aspirations. But the point I want to get on here is that if you don't have a desire and a clear intention to add value and to fix problems, it's going to undermine your expectations. All right? No one achieves wealth magically. You have to add value. Look at Bill Gates. He just didn't become wealthy. He produced a computer. All right, the IBM. Look at Steve Jobs. He was behind the Macintosh. He provided value. Elon Musk, he's producing cars and all of these innovations. He's bringing value to the table, and from bringing value to the table and fixing the world's problems, he's achieving his expectations. All right, so it's important to recognize this in setting any goal. It goes much deeper than this, but I just want to say, we at Family Planning Institute, Frank is the president for the Family Planning Institute. He's a chairman. We also have Global Capital Inc. and 10X Branding and Marketing LLC out of New York. We have combined our skill sets to really provide a top of the notch financial leadership platform for people across the world. So do not be like the camel who's at the water and can drink the water, but you sit in the fence and you refuse to drink the water. We are bringing to you the well of water, the well of knowledge, the fountain of knowledge that can literally help you to get the right mindset, develop the right habits, and make you unstoppable when it comes to achieving your financial independence. Over to my friend, Mr. Frank.
And one of the things you must remain is that once you, I'm just reiterating what
Yeah,
Gary said. So you think about it, first of all, you got to look at what is your mindset. Do you
yeah,
really want to prop from where you are presently to something better? Someone who's better, someone who is financially stable or healthy? And then why wait? Contact us and
exactly.
let us guide you through it. And the good thing about it here is that a lot of persons believe that things, you're getting this free information from us, right? Why not grasp it? Why, why delay, so to speak, procrastinate? Make use of this time because success doesn't wait on you. You have to go for success. You have to run after it. You
Yeah,
cannot sit and it's gonna fall into your hands. It has rarely happened. I wish it could have happened to me. But the thing about it is that you have to go after it. And though it may be a little hard work, you will enjoy the fruits of your labor in the end. And
yeah,
so my advice to you is work on it. Sit down, think of it. It must be in your mind because you want it to be the best you. You want to
exactly,
experience the best you, not just for you. You're doing it for the family. You're doing it for the society and your community. You're doing it for
exactly, exactly. You know, Frank, um, there's a myth that I want to talk about because really, you know, as we do that deep dive into some of the myths of the world, we you know, if we didn't start to think fast and do the research and figure things out, we could have been victim for this perhaps all of our life. We grew up hearing good things comes to those who end it. Good things come to those who wait.
those. Yeah,
How true is that? That is, I believe. What are you waiting for, my good friend? And what good things are you expecting?
expecting.
You know, I want to say to people out there, based on what you have to say, your life is something that you have to take into the palm of your hands, and you have to make a conscious decision that you will become the author, all right? The author that is going to start writing your success story in your book. No fairy tale godfather or mother is not going to come to do it for you.
That's not reality.
It's not reality. You have to take ownership. Like Frankie's one of the subject matter expert on leadership. Great leaders, they think ahead, they see beyond problems to take informed action to achieve desired results. Your wife, your spouse, your kids don't want to hear, let's sit and wait for fairy tale God, mother and godfather to open up the sky and drop heaven down at you. No. Frank is saying to you that we are providing you with critical information. Why sit on it? The reality, many of this information might be free. All you need to do is to reach out so we can impart this body of knowledge to you because we are committed to helping millions of people across the world. You were born to achieve greatness. You are not lack, you are not limitation, you are not doubts, and you are not fear. Where you are right now does not define who you are. You still have the potential to achieve greatness. But of course, if you sit on the fence like my good friend is saying, you will not achieve it. If you be like the camel standing at the well and refuse to drink the water, you will not achieve it. They say knowledge is power, but I want to say is the application of that knowledge is where you get your superpower from. There are so many knowledgeable people walking around in the world that never apply it. And if you don't apply it, you don't achieve the results that you so much deserve. Your loved ones, your spouse, and your kids, when they deserve better. Our mission here is to provide you with that kind of information, to empower you to do better for yourself and better for your loved ones, for your community, for your nation. Because, of course, as we speak to this language, while we speak a lot with the social hat on, especially at weekends, we are hardcore entrepreneurs. Frank has a master's degree in economics. My background is business and investment banking. We have a team of persons who are specialized in finance and in law, in all the area of business, that are prepared to put our entire weight behind you to ensure that we give you the best mentorship and coaching and advice to achieve your best in life. What are you waiting for? Okay, my friends, what are your advice and parting words for your audience?
I can't help but start from your mindset.
Mindset. Mm-hmm.
Because if you have the positive mindset, you're going to be able to achieve whatever. It all begins in the mind, so that you can be the best you. You can be the best you in whatever area you decide to go in the line of business and or leadership. You can be the best you.
Yeah.
You must think it.
Yeah.
Think it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The Bible is full of examples of persons who had positive thoughts on what they became. And the world is full of persons with positive thoughts and what they have achieved. You're no different from them. You can also achieve. And it doesn't matter what age you are, young, middle age, old, you can still grasp those dreams. You can still achieve those dreams and goals that you would have set in life, it was left dormant. They can be revived. There is still a chance for you. Nothing is too late.
That sounds like the KFC story. That guy was rejected 1,000 times. He didn't give up. And I think it was in his 60s he started to make his breakthrough. So you're right. Age doesn't matter, you know. It doesn't define. Yeah.
It's just a number.
It's just a number. You're right, you know, and I'm looking at some successful people out there today. And one of the personal life story that I'm following also, it's a young but mature guy, Grant Cardone. He's one of the top real estate advertiser in the world today. And he talked about his stories. He talked about his mistakes. But now he's in his 60s. He's in the prime of his life, and he's beginning to make the massive amount of breakthrough. But I like him because he talked about the steps that he would have taken, the mistakes he would have made to be where he's at today, the struggles and the challenges that he would have, you know, been through in life. But still at 62, he has just became, I think it's just a few years now, he has reached $1 billion status, and he's making it big out there. So if, you know, these folks can do it, you can do it too. All right, you just need the right formula, and that's why Frank is here. Okay, my good friend, any last words? As I know I asked you for the last word again, but I like picking your thought process. I know that you have so much to share. My wife liked listening to you tell your story. So I know my wife is not the only person who is fascinated with the way you articulate yourself. So I have to keep picking your brains, right?
When you think about it, is all that experience is from my days of public speaking,
Yeah,
mentoring, and so on. But you think about it, is that me, it's a joy to share with people. You hear so many stories that, okay, you die, you gain all this knowledge.
yeah. Oh my, yeah.
But you end up being poor because what you did with it, nothing.
Yeah.
And so that's why we at the Family Planning Institute here for you. Global, and all the other institutions.
Yeah.
We're here to help you through the process. It's not an easy process. It's not like the lotto where you can jump in and you get $1 million tomorrow. It's like that.
It's a process.
Let me tell you, to be honest, a lot of people who won the lotto, today they're very poor. Because easy come, easy go.
You know,
But if you work,
yeah, the
with the
research.
process,
Yeah, you're right. The research is showing that over 85% of those that win the lottery, they end up poor within a year or two. Worse off than when they didn't win the lottery. So you're correct. So I want to conclude by saying again, we at Global Capital Inc., we are a team of professionals, and believe me, all of us here in our network, we have been trained at the highest level. All right, we have been trained at the highest university level, and we have years of experience in what we are doing. So I want to encourage you to reach out to us right now. Do not hesitate. Frank, I will ask you just to share your number shortly. Reach out to us. We have the professional mentors. We have the professional coaches. You will be given a team of courses to support you on your path to success. What's your contact information, Frank?
My telephone number is 638-6226. I repeat that, 638-6226. You can also email me at claremont2002@yahoo.com, which is CLAIRMONTE2002@yahoo.com. Whatever the question is, whatever the thing, let me tell you something, listeners. Even if I can't answer, we got a team of people. I'm not going to sit here and say, yes, I went to this university or whatever, and I know everything. No, every day is a learning process for me. Every single day. Even being on this program is a learning process for me. And so don't think that, okay, I know everything. We have a team of persons. And when we don't know things, we research it. And our research will be able to give you the best advice.
That's why we're a team, because none of us are an island. We might be specialists in a particular field, but of course, you know, that's why we need a team, because we're not specialists in everything. So you're perfectly correct. So thanks again, viewers, ladies and gentlemen, viewers from across the world. Thank you for spending this time with us. I want to encourage you to like, subscribe, and share this podcast to help us to reach as much persons as possible. And remember to join the conversation. All right. Use the chat box and send us your thoughts, ask us questions, and we will be so happy to respond to you. Be blessed. And remember, stop thinking in lack, limitation, doubts, and fear. You are an abundant you. But now that you know you're abundant, it's important for you to take informed action to activate that abundance in you. And that's where Frank comes in. That's where I come in. That's where our team comes in to give you that support to become the best you. Be blessed, and see you in the next broadcast. Thank you, my friend. You too, my good friend.